На нашому рахунку 4 пуски, 4 збитих крилатих ракети, які були збиті під час масованого ракетного удару по інфраструктурі України.
A new story from Russian bloggers highlights the terrible state of the Russian army and its commanders. Russian commander scammed his own soldiers and the Z volunteers. He stole the humanitarian aid instead of giving it to the troops. Now the soldiers have nothing, and the angry volunteers say they won't help this regiment anymore. Correspondence with our volunteer. We are addressing this commander. Bastard. Volunteers will no longer work with your regiment while you are the commander there. And if you bastard dare to try to zero out the boys under the guise of a combat mission, we will write about you not only in the Far Eastern Military District as now, but also here, so that not only the authorities, but the whole country knows your family name. You're a piece of shit, not a commander. You chickened out signing the GMKA request and stole everything to another department? Well, if the GMKA is not needed, provide the people with equipment yourself, bitch, and don't send them to the slaughter, you fucking butcher. And communicate with people politely in the future, and not like in the audio below. This is exactly why we collect for abstract units. The battalion commander came and took all the rubber from the guys because he saw the collection, even though there was an initial agreement that the unit was self-sustaining and had to manage on their own. And the battalion commander initially didn't want to approach the two majors because we badmouth the commanders. Ukrainian forces destroyed a Russian Buk M3 air defense system. The strike was carried with help of the reconnaissance unit of the Chorny Lis Artillery Surveillance Brigade, which identified the target and adjusted fire accordingly just before the system was set to engage. Ukrainian forces have successfully destroyed multiple Russian Buk M3 air defense systems since the start of the full-scale invasion. These advanced medium-range systems, designed to protect Russian troops from aerial threats, have become high-value targets for Ukrainian drones and precision artillery. Each Buk M3 unit is worth tens of millions of dollars, and their losses not only weaken Russia's air defense network, but also expose frontline units to greater risk from Ukrainian aviation and missile strikes. Their destruction is a major tactical blow to Russia's layered defense strategy. In the photo shared by Russian Z channels, there's what looks like a DIY mini cannon slapped together from junk. Tank treads made of tractor tires and a car seat. Classic backyard engineering from the people's Russian military-industrial complex. An overview of recent destroyed heavy equipment by the Phoenix UAV Regiment. Operators of the Phoenix UAV Regiment destroyed a Russian TOS-1A Solntsepiok, a Molnia UAV launcher, and took out a mountain of trucks and infantry in a single operation. The Ukrainian Phoenix Separate Regiment of Unmanned Systems, operating under the State Border Guard Service, has recently intensified its drone warfare operations, delivering significant blows to Russian military assets. In the past week alone, the Phoenix unit has successfully destroyed over 30 Russian targets, including more than 20 vehicles, multiple artillery systems such as M-STB and D-30 howitzers, and several fuel depots, particularly in the Kharkiv region. A notable achievement was the elimination of a Russian R-330M1P diabazole electronic warfare station, which had been disrupting Ukrainian drone operations. Its destruction has not only cleared the airspace for further drone activity, but also weakened Russian battlefield communications and coordination. Ukraine's West Air Command shared a video of the US MiM-23 Hawk Sam in action. Despite its age, it's effective against Russian cruise missiles and drones. During a massive strike, 4 launches hit 4 targets.
Це пускова установка зенітно-ракетного комплексу «Хоук» американського, який призначений для збиття крилатих ракет, рекомендував себе з гарного боку. На нашому рахунку 4 пуски, 4 збитих крилатих ракети, які були збиті під час масованого ракетного удару по інфраструктурі України. Коли проходить збиття крилатих ракет, то емоції завжди позитивні.
Putin suddenly claimed that Russia is supposedly among the top 5 arms exporters, fulfills all its obligations, and has a weapons order book worth tens of billions. He says other countries study Russia's war experience, and to boost sales, they should offer services too.
It is very important to emphasize that last year, Russia, our enterprises, fulfilled their export obligations as a whole. In a number of cases, decisions were made with foreign partners that satisfied both parties, and the forms and method of interaction were flexibly and promptly adjusted. The defense industry continues to work in
Ukraine's military intelligence agency has documented more than 150 cases of Ukrainian soldiers being summarily executed after surrendering to Russian forces, the agency said on May 24th. The agency noted that this figure includes those cases recorded by HUR, suggesting the actual total may be higher. The statement came as Kyiv and Moscow began their largest prisoner exchange of the full-scale war. There has been a sharp rise in executions of Ukrainian prisoners of war by Russian forces since 2024. Intelligence officials have cited multiple instances in which Russian troops received direct orders to kill prisoners of war. According to HUR, these acts are not isolated incidents, but part of a deliberate and systematic policy of the Russian leadership. Ukraine's military intelligence agency, HUR, has documented more than 150 cases of Ukrainian soldiers being summarily executed after surrendering to Russian forces, the agency said on May 24th. The agency noted that this figure includes those cases recorded by HUR, suggesting the actual total may be higher. The statement came as Kyiv and Moscow began their largest prisoner exchange of the full-scale war. There has been a sharp rise in executions of Ukrainian prisoners of war, POWs, by Russian forces since 2024. Intelligence officials have cited multiple instances in which Russian troops received direct orders to kill prisoners of war. According to HUR, these acts are not isolated incidents but part of a deliberate and systematic policy of the Russian leadership. Rostov, New Northern Cemetery, Myaskovsky District. Bodies burn continuously from evening to morning. Smoke from the corpses spreads for miles. The Slovakian government showing its most vile side. Slovakia's ruling coalition party SNS says the country has the right to demand financial compensation from Ukraine for aid provided. They also call on Prime Minister Robert Fico to initiate an EU procedure to secure a share in Ukraine's mineral wealth at the next European Council meeting. Putin's lapdogs. The U.S. Air Force is testing the F-15E Strike Eagle with a new configuration of low-cost precision-guided missiles designed to intercept drones and cruise missiles, the Warzone reports. An F-15E from the 96th Test Wing was seen equipped with 6-7 tube launchers for 70mm APKWS-2 missiles, enabling it to carry up to 42 guided munitions. In addition to its air-to-air missile loadout, this significantly boosts the fighter's capacity to engage aerial threats, including unmanned systems and low-flying cruise missiles. The aviation podcast The Merge shared the loadout photo. The aircraft took off from Eglin Air Force Base in Florida, where new weapons are routinely tested. In 2025, BAE Systems introduced an upgraded APKWS-2 version featuring an added infrared seeker. This sensor allows the missile to home in on a target's heat signature following initial laser designation, improving effectiveness against agile or high-speed targets such as loitering munitions. APKWS-2 has already seen combat. In March 2025, U.S. Central Command released video footage capturing F-16 fighter jets using missiles to shoot down Houthi drones in Yemen. Equipping the F-15E, a platform with greater payload and range than the F-16, with APKWS-2 effectively turns it into a flying missile battery capable of staying aloft longer and engaging more targets per sortie. Militarny previously reported that Saudi Arabia plans to acquire APKWS kits to convert 70mm Hydra rockets into precision-guided weapons, offering a lower-cost alternative to traditional air-to-air missiles for drone interception. The Saudi government has requested 2,000 APKWS-2 guidance kits in a deal worth up to $100 million, including related equipment and services. The modified Hydra rockets are expected to be integrated with Saudi F-15s, a move the U.S. State Department said would require no significant changes. The Polish military tested the new Gladius reconnaissance and strike system on naval targets. The 18th Mechanized Division Zalizna reported that the tests were aimed at verifying the system's capabilities. Gladius was received by the 18th Artillery Regiment in December 2023. The launches confirmed the system's ability to hit maritime targets at long ranges. The launches were a complete success. The system hit the target with surgical precision, the Polish military reported. The Gladius reconnaissance and strike system consists of unmanned aerial vehicles, a mobile self-propelled launcher, and a command vehicle. In 2022, the Polish Armament Agency and WB Electronics signed a deal worth almost $500 million to supply 4 BSPU Gladius battery modules, one for each divisional artillery regiment. The agreement provides for the delivery of dozens of FT-5 reconnaissance UAVs and several hundred BSPU strike drones. The FT-5 multi-purpose drone is a twin-engine aircraft with a T-shaped tail. The operator can control the drone at a distance of over 100 kilometers from the control point without using repeaters. FT-5 itself can act as a repeater for BSPU strike drones. In turn, the BSPU strike drone is equipped with an electric motor with a propeller. The drone can carry a fragmentation or cumulative warhead and, in the future, a thermobaric warhead. The launchers for these drones are mounted on 2-axle all-wheel drive Warthog armored vehicles. The Gladius system is controlled from a command vehicle, which is also based on the Warthog armored vehicle.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Also, if you want to support Warthog Defense, please become our member and get early access to new videos, exclusive members-only videos, and become administrator in comments section. The membership link is in the description.
Rescues every day. We had a guy last week at 6 rescues in 6 days. You know, he's doing the job every day.